channel, the godfather of boxing. And this morning we have a relatively important conversation about the sport of boxing, in that this particular subject has a definitive impact on the future of boxing, in the sense that how we legally embrace the wrong things that go on in boxing. Now, I've said this time and time again that I think that the sport of boxing needs to be legislated. That means there needs to be laws put in place to protect the sport of boxing, and particularly the boxers, right? So, this morning I had the opportunity to review some content from other content creators, and I was overwhelmingly dissatisfied with one content creator in particularly, and that was Ego, right? Ego apparently had the same conclusions as the Devontae Tank Davis team. I want to be specific when I talk about the Devontae Tank Davis team, because we are specifically referring to Calvin and Calvin's position as a member of Devontae Tank Davis team. Coach Calvin is of the opinion that it doesn't make any sense to take Ryan Garcia to court, because basically he was saying that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney already had their day in court when it came to the PDs, the weight, and the contract in particularly. Right now, I want to say in all fairness to both parties, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right, that anytime you sign a contract, whatever you state in the contract, that's what you're liable to. Anything outside the scope of the contract, right, you are potentially liable to, right? Meaning that there can be civil action taken against you. And in this particular case, when it came to Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right, there was a lot of interesting things that transpired in that fight that is going to potentially hold Ryan Garcia responsible for civil liabilities, right? Breach of contract. Breach of contract is a simple term that means exactly what it says. You go into a contractual arrangement with anybody, right, and you sign your name on a contract specifically indicating what you do and what you don't do, right? That's what that's what the contract entails. That's what the contract means when it says if you do anything outside the scope of what you guys agreed to, you are in violation of breaching that contract. Breach of contract. In this particular case, when Ryan Garcia was tested, Ryan Garcia tested positive for PDs, right? He, in essence, breached the terms and the conditions of the contract. There's nothing in that contract that said that okay for Ryan Garcia to take PEDs. Nothing in the contract that said that it's okay that you come in 3 pounds over. And contrary to the fact that they negotiated allegedly some arrangement in regards to monetary gains for the Haneys, that still doesn't cut it when it comes to the legal parameter of breach of contract. Now, how do I know about breach of contract and things of that nature when it comes to civil liability? Because it was a time in my life, right, that I put myself in certain situations that had life and death implications, right? I had to take to the law, right, in learning the law. I had to. I was forced. It was forced down my throat, basically. And I practiced law. I'm gonna say for like maybe 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years, right? And I got really interested, involved in the law, in the basic fundamentals of the law, right? And when you engage in the law, civil and criminal assessments are basically the same. They're all governed by constitutional law, right? Whatever is stated constitutionally in our Constitution, right? All that trickles down into civil and criminal law, right? So these things you have to know if you intend to participate in the law, right? You have to know. You can't just get on a live feed and say what you think, right? That's not going to work. You have to know. You have to know constitutional law, procedural law, civil law. I mean, there's a litany of different things that you have to know. And for you to get on a live feed and say what you think is a fair assessment, that doesn't fly in a court of law, right? I'm telling you people this morning, right, that there are civil liabilities against Ryan Garcia for breaching that contract, and I guarantee you, I'll put my reputation on the line and state to the world, right, that Ryan Garcia breached the terms and conditions of that contract, and he is definitely civilly liable to his actions as they were against the Haneys, not just Devin Haney, the Haneys. There is a lot of allegations flying in regards to the civil allegations that were made by the Haney. And I'm going to say this again, contrary to what Calvin Ford said, contrary to what Ego said, and their disbelief that the Haneys are taking the initiative in filing a civil lawsuit, I am willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man, $1 that the Haneys will prevail in civil court in New York State. New York State, first of all, is I want to say, it's a politically correct state, right? They don't, contrary to whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, right? New York State follows the law. But I will say they lean a little bit towards the Democratic way of things, right? And that kind of leaves a person out of sorts when it comes to understanding the veracity of the way the law falls in New York State, because they're going to follow the law in New York State. And I am saying to you in particular, right, that Ryan Garcia is in trouble when it comes to civil liabilities in New York State and this lawsuit that is filed against him by the Haneys. He is going to be held accountable for his day in court in this civil litigation. That being said, I do want to touch on the fact that at first I had a lot of respect for Ego. I thought I kind of think that he's an intelligent person, but after this tape, I am of the opinion that, particularly when it comes to litigation, don't do it, Ego. Do not put yourself in a position again where you attempt to critique civil liabilities. That being said, man, I need y'all to hit that subscription button, hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, and tell me what y'all think about that lawsuit and who do you think will prevail. And share this video with your friends and relatives. What the heck is wrong with y'all? I know I'm cooking because I represent the truth. That being said, I got to go. See you later.